All right, how does that, is that working? Is that, yeah, that, okay, so that's somewhat working. Okay, we'll settle for that for now. All right, BobbethTV is live. You know what that means. We're having some technical issues in the booth. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. But here we are. We're here live for the 420 Sim Racing. Actually, that says GT3 Challenge on my screen. I need to fix that. I knew I was forgetting something. Oh, for the love of God. If anything could go wrong today, it has. And I am not in a good mood, guys. I am so sorry if that shows, if that comes across. I am so sorry. Let's get this all sorted. There we go. So we are in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, USA. The 420 Sim Racing League's Gen 3 V8 Supercars at Road America. They are currently in our qualifying period. So let's get down to the track. Let's get a look at some of these times and see how the boys are going. About 15, 16 cars registered for tonight's race here at Road America. Let's get the race sound on our screen as well. Let me just do a quick last check, see if there's anything else I've forgotten. Okay, that's all good. I think I don't have my audio set up properly, so I'm probably not going to hear the alerts. Let's just double. Yeah, they're not. Damn it! But Stephen Varga, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. A bit of a different format here tonight. It is going to be 225 lap races. What was I doing? I was trying to do something. It looks like a lot of the cars have qualified. A few other guys are out there, but the camera, there we go. Didn't want to grab them. All right, while the qualifying's got about 5 minutes to go, let's go through our usual chat. Isan in the chat. Bobbeth, can you check DMs? If this is for what I think it is, mate, you're going to get banned. All right? I'm not doing that right now. Fuck off. All right? Jesus Christ. Let me just double check in case. Yeah, no, not interested. Ignore. Move on. See you later, brother. In fact, see, anything that could go wrong tonight is going to go wrong. You have weirdos rocking up, just asking for favors for other communities. Let's see. Yeah, there he is. All right, let's just get rid of him. See you, mate. All right, so still got 5 minutes of this qualifying session to go. Let's try and get back to what we're doing. Road America, it is a legendary permanent road course located in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, USA. And on iRacing, it's presented in its full 6.5 kilometer glory. 14 turns is the configuration, known for being one of the fastest and most challenging road circuits in North America. iRacing's laser scanned version offers a faithful and immersive recreation of this classic track. We'll see that tonight. So yeah, track length 6.5 kilometers, 14 turns, which is a mix of high-speed straights, technical corners, and heavy braking zones. The pit lane is located on the driver's right, just after turn 14. There is noticeable elevation and gradient shifts throughout the lap. Fully dynamic weather, including rain. However, I don't think we'll see that. Probably a little bit of fog. Now, to walk us through the 14 turns, there's 8 sections of the track. Turn 1, that's a fast right-hander taken in 4th or 5th gear. Critical for setting up the run into turn 3. Turn 3 is a tight right with a very important exit feeding onto the long marine sweep straight. Then you've got turn 5, a heavy braking downhill into a sharp left, which is a classic overtaking spot. Turn 6 and 7, medium speed rhythm section, slightly blind entry into 6. Then you've got the carousel, turns 9 and 10. It's a long sweeping right-hander with a high lateral load, central to nail for a good run down to the kink. Now, the kink obviously is turn 11, flat out in many high downforce cars. Very dangerous if misjudged. It is going to be dangerous. Not a lot of downforce in the Gen 3 V8 Supercars. Then we head on to Canada Corner, turn 12. That's another big braking zone and great overtaking opportunity. And then finally, turn 14. It's the final right-hander that launches cars back onto that long front straight. Exit speed here defines your lap time. All right, how are we looking? All right, looks like we're just about finishing up. Ivan Falcone out on the track. All right, tips for success here tonight. The BobbethTV tips for success. Brake hard, and exit smart. Most passing zones come after long straights, so now your exits and defend your line. Use the curbs sparingly. Some curbs are forgiving, turn 5. Others, such as Canada Corner and turn 14, will destabilize you. Now, the temperature and brakes with long straights, brakes can call a lot. Watch for variability, in braking performance lap to lap. And then drafting. The longer straights make slipstreaming essential in races. Don't fight too hard early on, especially in longer formats. We're 225 lap races, so you'll be fine. They'll be fine battling it hard. Now, the Gen 3 V8 Supercars here at Road America, what suits them well? So the straight line speed, Road America's long straights, like the Marine sweep in the run from Canada Corner to turn 1, let the Gen 3s really stretch their legs. The braking zone. So big stops in turn 5 in Canada Corner reward confident trail braking and stability, something the Gen 3s do reasonably well with the right setup. Now also rolling speed, the long carousel and the fast flowing turn 6-7 section. Let the car build rhythm with throttle control and lateral balance. Now, what punishes them? So weight transfer. These cars are heavy and have softer rear ends compared to their Gen 2 counterparts. So transitions like turns 5 and 6 or braking into turn 12 can unsettle the car easily. Traction zones are another problem. Getting the power down cleanly out of slow corners like 5 or 14 is a challenge, especially late in the stint as the tyres degrade. And then the kink risk. The kink in turn 11 is terrifying in a V8. It's flat out for only the bravest. If you get the carousel exit wrong, the kink will become a death trap. All right, some race strategy notes. Fuel usage. So it's approximately 2.6 to 2.9 litres per lap, depending on the driving style and drafting. 40% fuel will typically go to 12 to 14 laps. I think they're on 30%, so that's going to be even less. Now, the overtaking zones, as we mentioned, turn 1, which is a draft and dive. Turn 5, your best opportunity. And then Canada Corner for late heavy braking. All right, our first of 2 races is lining up, so let's get down to the track and see who we've got. All right, front row, it's going to be Quantum Peckies Racing, Stephen Varga alongside Tickford Racing's Luke Fallon. Then we're going to have Jeff Price and Rob Chandler on that second row. Third row is going to be Kane Lewis and Jacob Smith. Vladimir Shumilov and Ben Mead on that fourth row. Clementage, Radzabaran, Clementage, Radzabaran. Clementage, I hope I get that right, my friend. Cliff Potter alongside him on that fifth row. Wade Georgeson alongside Wayne Rogers on that sixth row. Seventh row is going to be Juha Cirilla and David Jansen. Ivan Falcone and Brad Armstrong on that eighth row. And the seventh, I can't count. Eighth row. What's after 8, guys? 9. Ninth row is going to be Mr. Anthony Haig. Just waiting on the front 2 cars there, it looks like. Although let's take a start. We were just waiting on Stephen Varga. A couple of other cars still to take the grid. The back 3, Ivan Falcone, Brad Armstrong, and Anthony Haig. Hey, Swiggy, how you going, brother? So I didn't see the laugh reaction in the chat. All right, off we go and racing. Looks like a little bit of a hectic start there. Some of the cars getting a bit better opportunity. We know that you can't pass on the underside of a car, though. So if you're on the outside line, you have to stay high. You can't go between the inside line and your opponent's car. Why have we lost sound? Let me just quickly check something here. We've lost race sound. I bet you that's on default. Let me just fix that up. It is, okay. Is that working? It doesn't see, the levels don't seem to be working. Let me just quickly check something. I'm having all manners of issues here tonight. I don't know what is going wrong. Let's go to my channel. No race sound. Okay, why do we not have race sound? Oh my God, I'm not sure what's happened here, guys, but I've completely lost all sound. Just trying to get it back now. All right, let's try this. I'm really going to hesitate doing this because it's going to put it through my ears, but it's the best we've got. Let's try that. All right, I think we've got that sorted. Okay, let me just double check a few things. So loud in my head. I can't because that'll turn it down for you guys. All right, I'll just have it down there. Okay, so that's workable. We've got sound. We've got... Okay, I think we're back. I don't like how it's set up and everything's mixed up and on the wrong settings. But we are here nonetheless. Kane Lewis is our race leader at the moment. Rob Chandler in second. See a couple of cars falling off the pack there. Stephen Varga, Clementage in fourth and fifth. Ben Mead, Brad Armstrong, Jacob Smith, Vladimir Shumlov, Wade Georgeson, Ivan Falcone, Cliff Potter, Jeff Price, David Jansen, Juha Cirilla, Wayne Rogers. Anthony Haig has not taken the field here tonight. Excuse me. The other issue I had was I ordered some dinner earlier, some nice sushi, and the place decided they were going to cancel it right as it was supposedly ready to go. I guess they forgot something and went, nah, we're not going to bother doing it. We'll just cancel the order. Screw Bob and his sushi dinner. So I had to order elsewhere. That's not going to be here for a little while. So I have to just put up with my crap. How are we tonight, chat? Who are we here to watch? Got a few new drivers on the track. So Road America really bringing out a lot of different drivers here today. Ivan Falcone just outside the top 10. He's in 11th. Cliff Potter and Jeff Price just behind him. Looks like it's Wade Georgeson and Jacob Smith just up ahead. There's some of that downhill elevation as we come down out of, what's that, turns 1, 2, 3, 4. So coming down that straightaway, the big left hand. It's going to be a pretty technical portion of the course coming up the end of this straightaway. We're real cheese people, of course. We are in Wisconsin, America. They are very much known for their cheeses. Let's try to smash some more of this V energy drink so I can wake up a little bit. Coming up on the end of lap 3, just going to come down through the windy bits. We ride along with 10th place Ben Mead. There's Wade George, and we can see Jacob Smith. Look like Brad Armstrong, Vladimir Shumilov also up ahead of them. Oh, looks like someone off a track there. Who was that? That was, I think, David Jansen. Like based on the telemetry. It looks like something happened with Ivan Falcone. He's had to go into the pits. He's just exited those. He's now back there in 10th place. No, he didn't. Why did it say he went in the pits? Maybe you come past the pit entrance and the telemetry got confused. Griff, welcome in, sir. I didn't hear the walk on my sound. All my audio settings are completely screwed today. I've literally had to tell everything to work under NVIDIA Broadcast just to get the sounds to work. So I don't normally have the race on my headset, but I have today, so I've had to turn it down a bit. So, whoa, big crash there. Rob Chandler comes unstuck. Looks like Stephen Varga and Luke Fallon getting past him as he tries to get that car back on the track, as does everyone else. He is falling down that field. Thanks for the follow, JT3000. Appreciate you. Yeah, look, if it's anything like Griff's, if it's anything like Griff, if it's anything like Shrubs, it'll play anywhere within the next 3 to 5 minutes. Sometimes even later. Yours sometimes plays a bit later, actually, I think. But, while we're here, three to 5 minutes coming from now. Speaking of the devil, he shall appear, Shrubs and Griff in the chat. You may recognise those names. BobbethTV partners in crime, long-time friends, long-time streaming buddies. Check him out. Griff was last seen on Arc. It's the Arc server that me and the boys have got running that I host. Came up on the screen, maybe you're thinking of the autoplay. I turned that off and activated me. Yeah, sort of autoplay. The play. So I don't know how Shrubs triggers it. I don't know if his is autoplay or if he triggers his, but yeah, more often than not, Shrubs will say hello. It'll say it's going to play his walk on, and then we hear it a lot later in the piece. Yeah, I think that's right. I do remember that, Shrubs. Yeah, one time it didn't play till near the end of the stream. All right, we're a fifth of the way in to this first battle. It's going to be a bit of a longer race here tonight. There we go. It's just playing for Shrubs, I saw. You'd think it would be, yeah. You'd think it would be. As I said, a little bit of a longer format here tonight. We have allocated 45 minutes per race. There will be a 10-minute break between the two 25-lap battles. Here tonight, we are getting close into the dying stages. Just 2 more races after this one for the V8 Supercars Season 4 Gen Championship. Get my words all around the wrong order. Getting the right words out, just wrong order. So the boys, yeah, really mixing it up with the competition. Stephen Varga has got that car into the race lead. Kane Lewis has fallen back into second. Let's see if we can spot when that happened. Stephen Varga. There's where he passed Rob. No, I can't see anything that would have caused Clive to... or Kane, sorry, Kane to fall. I don't know why I said Clive. Kane to fall all the way back. Hell, Reaper, you got to record this whole lot, and this time unlike the GT3. No, so the GT3s, I did, so what, that was a glitch with Twitch, Hell Reaper. So what Hell Reaper's mentioning there is there was some Twitch issues where the stream kept buffering, but rather than staying live, I got to the end of the broadcast and it was still about a third of the way behind, so I don't think it managed to go all the way through. No, not Clive Warren. I don't know why I said Clive, to be honest. I don't know any Clives. I don't have any Clive names on my screen. I'm not sure where that came through from. There's Vladimir Shumilov in the Hoonigan Monster Machine 7. Luke Fallon, I believe, is our points leader there in second. Stephen Varga, though, putting up a great show. He's been very high in the rankings each race the last few weeks. Half the race or 2/3. Yeah, 2/3. Clive, but don't feed it, Shrubs. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm crabby. I'm not well. Stop picking on me. Riding along inside the Vladimir Shumilov 7. He's from Slovakia. An Australian Racing League V8 Supercars, very much a traditional Australian-led field. But we do have some international drivers. In fact, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Australians. And that would mean 7 international races ranging from Slovakia to Italy to New Zealand and other flags that I don't recognise. Finland is there. Is that the Antarctic flag? Is that Clemency Razdebaran? Is it that the flag? Let's have a look. Let's see if I think I can get their details. I'm just trying to remember how I do it. I think it's this one. No, maybe it's this one. No. There is a way. But yeah, that is the Antarctic flag, Shrubs. Yeah. What a trip. What a trip. David Jansen in the pits. Currently looks like he's about to exit. Oh no, he's just pulling in. Okay, so I googled the name. I googled his name, Clemente Raz Baron, I believe it is, and I think he's an actual real life race car driver. Um, oh no, maybe he's just an iRacing driver and has enjoyed a fair bit of success. AI was telling me that he is a race car driver. All right, Luke Fallon, Vladimir Shumilov, Stephen Varga all going in the pit. That should be a sign for a lot of the other guys to get in there now. We've seen this. Those earlier pit stops are essential. Oh, my food's here. All right, guys. Girls, let's try and get some other cars onto the screen and not necessarily the ones in the pits. Come on. Why are we stuck in the pits? There we go, that'll do. All right, I'll be back in just one moment, guys. Just going to get my dinner. I wonder if he just sits his computer out. So don't start, Brock, all right? Don't start. Bit of a contact there. Hoonigan getting shunted back off the track. That's Vladimir Shumilov. Thanks for the call out there, Shrubs. I appreciate it. Tonight's dinner sponsored by Subway. Eat fresh. When BobbethTV eats Subway, he chooses to eat the Italian BMT. So if you're looking for any sponsorship there, Subway, reach out. Appreciate it. Might have to get Shrubs up here in the booth, actually, maybe. He's got a bit of a talent for it. It's starting to rub off. Something's rubbing off, at least. No. So Brad Armstrong, Ivan Falcone, the latest to come in and out of the pits. Let's have a look here and see who has. Everybody has stopped. So this is going to be a bit of a run home from here. Next 16 or so laps. It's Jacob Smith back there in third. The Phantom Machine, we know he's capable of getting it done. Vladimir Shumilov really putting on a bit of a contest to him there. Luke Fallon in second in front of them. As you see him coming down the outside there. He's going to be in the right position for the turn there as he moves that car up in front, comes around that left-hand turn. Great passing play. He's going to move on to take on Luke Fallon in second now. mental note, too big of a mouthful on that bite. Kane Lewis in the 4 Vodafone machine. He's got a couple of car lengths lead on Rob Chandler, but he is literally less than half a second back there behind him. Up here we've got Juha Cirilla in 14th. He's got Cliff Potter behind him. Mate, I commentate everything. It takes a one bite of the apple. No. I was just hoping to be back from my little chew break a lot quicker than I was. So Cliff Potter got that car ahead of Juha Cirilla. Juha back to 15th place. David Jansen also back on the track. 16 cars remain in this 17 car field. Whoa, big crash there. Jeff Price comes unstuck. Hasn't hit the telemetry though. Ben Mead crashed. Let's have a look and see if Ben was a part of it. No, it looks like he just brought that car to a stop. But that other crash, the one we actually watched, didn't really sort of show us the crash. I think we can grab it from here, actually. So it was Ben Mead, because Ben Mead brought that car to a stop. Unfortunately, Jeff Price clipped it on the way past, and that just sent him down off the track into the wall. Rob Chandler's made some moves, made his way up into 7th place. There's 8th placed Kane Lewis. He'd be spewed. Yeah, that is definitely going to be treated via the incident panel, I imagine. I feel like that will be lodged as a not my fault. Jeff Price and Ben Mead, though, currently in the pits, a couple of laps down. You can see them back there in the background. Oh, the Vodafone got his nose right in behind Rob Chandler there. Rob tried to turn into the turn, and that contact was made. Get a bit fiery out there on the track. We've still got one more 25 lap battle to do here again tonight. We've got this first 25 lap battle, 45 minutes set aside for that. And then another one after a 10-minute warm-up break. So a lot of racing still to come here tonight. I was on mute for all of that. Damn it. Yeah, so looking at the times, we're almost at the halfway mark of this battle, but we're well over the halfway mark in terms of allocated time. Now, the average race speed, the average lap time on this track can be around 2:11, 2:13. So at 45 minutes, that only really gives us about 21 laps, not the 25 needed to be completed. So this is a race until the race is called finished. Falcone fourth, Brad Armstrong in the casual 88. Behind him in fifth. Oh, looks like Ivan off track there. Just a little bit too much speed into the turn. Caused him to overshoot it. He's going to fall back to the top 5 spot. Brad Armstrong up there in the top 4 spot. Looking on at the map, this one looks like the closest battle really that we've got here. The other one is just up ahead of them, Vladimir Shumilov. You can see there, he's trying to do everything he can to get that car up to speed, to catch up to Luke Fallon in second. So Jeff Price, Ben Mead in the pits. Officially scored in 15th and 16th. Anthony Haig, 17th. He hasn't taken the field here for tonight's race. Could still show up for the second half of this battle. But 14 cars remain. David Jansen in 14th. Currently Wade George in 13th. Kane Lewis, 12th. Jacob Smith, 11th. Pardon me, hiccups. Our top 10. Luhas Cirilla currently in 10th. Rob Chandler in the pits in 9th. 8th, Cliff Potter. Sorry, 7th, Wayne Rogers. Clementage Raz de Baron. I'm sorry, Clementage. I really hope I'm getting that right. In 6th, our top 5, Ivan Falcone in 5th, Brad Armstrong 4th, Vladimir Shumilov 3rd, Luke Fallon in 2nd, and Stephen Varga, our current race leader. Just over 14 minutes remaining, and we've got to look there at Vladimir Shumilov getting a bit loose there. Now, I just noticed something, and it looks like that early pit stop might have been a bit of a gamble. Stephen Varga having to head into the pit stop again, as is Luke Fallon, Vladimir Shumilov. Two-stopper here tonight. Looks like everyone else also getting in and out of the pits as quickly as they possibly can. Let's try and make some sense of it all. Also, Brad Armstrong, Ivan Falcone, David Jansen possibly still left to pit, but Brad and Ivan enjoying that run up the front right now. So let's let them enjoy that bit. Sheltark. Hey, Sheltark. How long do races go for? Really depends. Generally, most common races for the 420 AusSim Racing League, the Sunday night league that I broadcast here, they're generally 60-minute races, or sometimes split into two 30-minute races. The races generally start around 8 o'clock, usually finish a little bit after 9 o'clock. This one, though, is two 25-lap or two 45-minute battles, with a 10-minute break in the middle. So this one's going to be about an hour and a half all up, I think. But 8 races per season. The boys do what they can to keep the lads on their toes and keep the competition fresh. There's our current race leader, Brad Armstrong. Ivan Falcone right there behind him. Stephen Varga is about 7 seconds back. That car that we can see on the screens just behind Ivan. Well, we could momentarily ago, is the 08 of David Jansen. But he had gone into the pits. Is it all year round, or is there a big break between? So a lot of these are just leagues, so sort of similar to what FDG is sort of setting up as well with iRacing. Yeah, so this competition is generally 8 weeks, so 8 rounds of racing, and they take a week or 2 off, and then they just move on to the next season and continue on. But yeah, no, that's a good point, Shrubs. Good point. I think I've spelt that all correctly. Let's see how we go. No, maybe not. What did I do? I did it wrong. It's that way, Bob, you dickhead. There we go. Yeah, definitely check out Sheltark. Does a lot of Grand Theft Auto 5M roleplay streams and is extremely entertaining. Very, very entertaining. What was the question? Do you have a guy that dominates, or is it always swaps and changes? So generally, I've noticed this is my second season with them in terms of the Advanced Supercars. I also broadcast their GT3 challenge on Tuesday nights. Yeah, so both competitions have very different sort of guys that dominate or that do well. But in this competition, the V8 Supercars. It's generally Stephen Varga, Luke Fallon are the two that generally do well, or within the shout. A lot of other guys can be there, but it's just luck or whether they can sort of hold on to the end of that that particular competition. All right, looks like another few visitors in to the pits. I think that's just about everyone who's done that second stop now. It is. So this will be the run home. Still about 8 minutes to go in this battle. 8 laps. Not enough time to get the 25 laps in. But, oh, we haven't done this yet. Okay, so we're going to jump in to Jacob's 21 Phantom machine. We haven't done this one yet, this broadcast. We're going to sit in the car to do a full lap with Jacob Smith while we have a bit of a chat. So Shortark asks, do you need to qualify to enter this race? So basically, this is a hosted league. So you join up in the league itself via iRacing, and these guys have a website called SimGrid, 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 where you can register to join their leagues. And then, yeah, you just come along Sunday nights, Tuesday nights, and race. We do have a couple of Fat Duck gamers that race on the Tuesday night series as well. But yeah, no, it's just sign up and show up and race when you want, sort of thing. But send me a message if you want the details, and I'll flick you like the Discord and website links so you can check it out. But yeah, they race more than 2 nights a week, but I broadcast their Tuesday and Sunday competitions. But yeah, so the start of the session, there's a practice, runs for about 40 minutes. The guys can come in and do their thing, and then you qualify, and then that decides where you start in the main event. All right, here we come with that fast downhill run. A little bit of elevation change as we come down through the back straight. It's going to be a very sharp right-hander, and then we come into the sweepies, which look quite easy, but if you do carry them the wrong way, carry too much speed on entry, they will bring you unstuck, and then you've got that final right-hander to go. Look, sessions usually open around 20 past 7, and then the practice just sort of runs through and whatnot. All right, the 21 Jacob Smith. Thank you for that ride along as we complete the 18th lap, and he starts his 17th lap, starts his 18th lap. See back there behind Jacob Smith, Clementage, Rastaban. So sorry, Clementage. I'm sure I'm butchering that badly. Up ahead of Jacob Smith is the 88 of Brad Armstrong. He's our top 5 driver. Only 4 other cars ahead of them. Ivan Falcone, Vladimir Shumilov, Luke Fallon, and Stephen Varga. That is the top 4 for this field. Less than 5 minutes remain in this first of 2 races. We will take a short 10-minute break between races as they get to the get to the end of this race. Short 10-minute break so they can go through some setup changes, some stretch the legs, get some drinks. So no, with this particular division, there's not interviews after the race, but all other leagues that I broadcast, so my American leagues, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday mornings Australian, usually from say about 10:30 onwards, 10 o'clock onwards, they do feature race driver interviews and things like that. But this one, no, we hadn't organised anything with this one just yet. I had offered, but they're quite new in terms of being broadcast. It was just sort of the guys liked what they had going on, and they liked the drivers that they had achieved, and thought, let's try and broadcast some races and see if we can get some love. And it's been good. I've really enjoyed finally getting on. I've done a lot more American stuff on this sim, so being a part of an Australian league is quite cool. To put my drink up there, it is down there. Looks like only 13 cars still on the track. Kane Lewis has joined Jeff Price and Ben Mead watching that from the pits as we watch Jacob Smith and I believe that is the 8. That's not right. It's the 88 I was going to say, but that's not the right car. Having trouble telling who that is in front of. Oh, it's Clementage. Radzaban. Rad's Baron. Oh my God, I'm so butchering that name. I apologise. Ironically, my favourite part of this job is whenever new drivers do come in and I've got to learn new names and flags and things like that, and how badly they get butchered. As you can see on the leaderboard, quite an international field here today. People from the UK, we've got people from Italy, Finland, Antarctica, apparently. Do you need to use realistic names? Yeah, so one of the big issues with iRacing is that you can contact them and have an identity. So obviously I go by Bob on iRacing and my surname, but obviously Bob not my given name. So you can do that, but it does somewhat dox you in that you do need to have you do need to use your name. Some people use just the billing name on the credit card, so you'll see a lot of Karen Smiths, and it's just the kid using their mum's credit card, and they use that name because it's on the billing details. But yes, you do have to have a name, a proper name. So you wouldn't be able to race as Chantel Chitter, unfortunately. Which would be fun. That would be amazing. I mean, you can. There is. So I use software. So you'll notice that down in the bottom left corner, we've got a picture of the car and things like that. And I didn't turn it on properly. If I do this, we might even see a helmet or a driver sometimes. So all of that information can be manually logged via a program called SDK Gaming Driver Info, and then my telemetry software will pick that up. So if you did want to call yourself a silly name, such as the 10th place driver Cliff Potter, he's got his nickname Ram Jam in there as well. Brad Armstrong, Ivan Falcone side by side. Brad Armstrong is going to take the turn. Ivan sort of conceded it, but I think that was a play because he's actually managed to come out sitting quite pretty alongside him, not really losing a position. In fact, might actually be gaining the spot. Currently holding 4th. Brad back there in 5th. All right, we're at the end of the allotted time for this race. 45 minutes has elapsed, so this will be the final lap. We're going to jump up to Stephen Varga as he comes around the final turn. Hits that straight away, and he is going to lock in our first of 2 checkered flags here tonight. Our extended night of racing, extra half hour or so of racing here tonight. So if you ever come along and went, man, I wish it was just that little bit longer, tonight's your night. There's our second place driver, Luke Fallon, coming down the straightaway. Right there behind him, back there, Vladimir Shumilov for that 3rd place. So yeah, 21 laps. My math was correct. Luke Fallon doing a bit of a friendly burnout. I forgot to keep coming. Oh, a couple of cars sort of coming down through the track there after the start finish line. So it's not a big issue there. almost a bit of a collision as Wayne Rogers, Cliff Potter, Juha Surila, Wade George shouldn't be too far back there behind them as they come out through that start-finish turn onto the straightaway. All right, we're going to await the official results. We'll get them up on our screens, and then we're going to go to a 10-minute warm-up / practice / break time before we get to our second of 2 45-minute races. Why is it not giving us our results? Everyone's either out or finished. There we go. All right, we know that by the leaderboard, the basic results, but Anthony Haig finished in 17th. Jeff Price, 16th. 15th was Ben Mead from McPherson's Machines. Kane Lewis and David Jansen in 14th and 13th. Then we have a run of 420 Oz drivers. Wade Georgeson and Juha Surila, 12th and 11th. 10th, 9th, and 8th. Ramjam himself, Cliff Potter in 10th. Pardon me, Wayne Rogers, 9th. 8th, Rob Chandler. 7th, Jacob Smith. Clementage Radzabaran. I've said that about 8 different ways so far, I think. In 6th, 420 Oz driver, Brad Armstrong in 5th. Ivan Falcone in 4th. Vladimir Shumilov finished in 3rd. Luke Fallon 2nd for Tickford Racing, sorry. And Quantum Pecky's Racing. Stephen Varga wins. All right, we'll get to our race sort of screen. I don't think anyone is actually out there on the track yet for warm-ups. But it generally takes a minute or so for the guys to sort of start rolling out. There we go. I just realized I'm on the Twitch stream and not the multi-stream chat, so I didn't even see if there's any Facebook or YouTube comments coming in. Shit. Let me just quickly check that before we go on a quick break. No, it looks good. Okay. All right, guys, just going to take a quick break. I will be back before the end of the 10 minutes, but I'm just going to take a quick break, stretch my legs, grab another drink, eat some food, and we'll go from there. We'll try and get some cool cameras happening here, see if we can't catch some action. Only Jacob Smith out there as of yet, getting that warm-up in. So, yeah, keep an eye on him. We'll be back soon. All right, with only a couple of minutes left, actually just a minute 20, it looks like, in warm-ups, not even that. We've seen Jacob Smith get a time on the board. Jeff Price is out there as well as a few other drivers. Oh, hiccups. You can see on the track map. There's David Jansen, obviously Rob Chandler's out there, Jeff Price as well. So those final checks for our last 45-minute race. 21 laps of Road America here in Wisconsin, the USA. This is the 420 Sim Racing League's Gen 3 V8 Supercars Season 4. This is round 5. Only 3 more rounds of racing action to go to crown our newest champion. Who's it going to be? Stephen Varga is looking strong, as is Luke Fallon. Running along with Rob Chandler here. Warm-ups coming to a close. This lap will be the last one. Nope, we're going to advance straight on over to our finale. Let's get the grid up on our screens, get our cameras ready. Ooh, looks like we've got an inverted order for our start here tonight. So technically on the front row, Anthony Hague and Jeff Price. Ben Mead and Kane Lewis on that front row. I don't think Anthony Hague will line up, so Ben will probably advance. Let's calculate it that way. So Ben Mead and Jeff Price will be on that front row. Kane Lewis and David Jansen second row. It's going to be Juha Cirillo and Wade Georgeson on that third row. Wayne Rogers and Cliff Potter are going to be on our fourth row. Our fifth row is going to be Jacob Smith and Rob Chandler. Sixth row, Brad Armstrong and Clementige Radster Baron. Sorry, Clementige. Ivan Falcone and Vladimir Shumilov are going to be in that seventh row. Eighth row are going to be Luke Fallon and Stephen Varga. All right, this one will take another, say, 50 seconds, 30 seconds to get started because normally what will happen is once all the drivers are on the track, the times will start. We'll get this race going, but because there's some drivers that haven't actually come through, we have to wait that full minute mark. Anthony Hague, Brad Armstrong, Kane Lewis not taking the field. Second lot of 45-minute racing here. Not going to be enough time, unfortunately, to get the full 25 laps in. So we do have 45 minutes of racing still to come. Ben Mead, our race leader. Jeff Price in second. David Jansen third. Wade Georgeson fourth. Cliff Potter currently fifth. Clementige Radster in sixth. Juha Cirillo seventh. Jacob Smith eighth. Ninth, Stephen Varga, Wayne Rogers in 10th. Ivan Falcone 11th. 12th, Vladimir Shumilov. Rob Chandler 13th. Luke Fallon not able to find his way through the grid yet. Back there in 14th. Ben Mead there trying to make a move on Jeff Price. Jeff able to keep that acceleration up in the Ampol Red Bull. Keep that car in the race lead for the time being. Jeff Price has the Tasman on his helmet. I wonder if that's an indication that he's from Tasmania. If he is, he's just become my favourite driver in this division. See there, it looks like David Jansen, Ivan Falcone getting a bit closer there. David off the track a little bit, but able to keep the speed up and keep it in the right direction. David let off the off the track again there. Had let off the speed a little bit. Looked like a few of the cars were training on past him, so he sort of let that happen. But it meant that he wasn't really on the required speed for that turn. Lap 2 of 2021 underway as we speak. It's the second of 2 main events here tonight. We had the B main. This is the A main. Reversed order for the finishing order. So the guys that won the guys that finished high in the first main have to start at the rear of the second and race their way forward. Yeah, there it even says it there. If you're still watching Shrubs, Clementage, Raz the Baron. That's what I was trying to do, look up to see if it had his home country listed. But obviously, yeah, Antarctica. I wonder if he's just done that to avoid being doxxed, but at the same time has quite an international sounding name. So it'd be quite cool if he is in the Antarctic. 30% fuel, so there will be 2 stops required before the end of this race. We saw the first one generally around lap 9, 10-ish, and then just before lap 20, probably a little bit earlier to get that run home. Driving quite competitive for as early as it is in the piece. The guys being very aggressive with their moves. You see there one of the cars going off the track. I believe that one was Wade Georgeson. Kane Lewis could have had pole position start. Currently 2 laps down in 15th. Unfortunately did not make it back in time for the start of our second main event here tonight. So having to sort of race his way back into it. Two laps down. It's going to be a bit of a hard task. Well, looked like there might have been a little bit of contact there. Wade Georgeson almost, or he swerved to avoid it, but got a bit loose, went off track, managed to collect it pretty cleanly. A lot of guys got a little bit too wide, a little bit too much speed on that exit coming into that turn, getting out onto the grass. That will affect tyre wear, that will affect lap time. Wayne Rogers there making a move. I think that was on Wade Georgeson. Wade Georgeson not having a fun night. He has been really had the efforts put on him. Managed to break away a little bit there in the Adidas 420 Oz Racing Sim. There's his teammate behind him. And then we've got the Shell 17 Rob Chandler. Also a part of that 420 Oz Racing team. They are very well represented, both internationally and via members. There's Wade Georgeson. Wayne Rogers up ahead of him. Rob Chandler back there behind him. As they race their way through the fourth lap of this second main event, the A main here tonight, Road America. This is the 420 Austin Racing's Gen 3 V8 Supercars Season 4, Round 5. Only 3 more rounds to go before we crown a champion. We, of course, came in at the start of Season 3, so this will be our second complete V8 Supercars season. Looking forward to many more. But you can also see a lot of these guys and other drivers on Tuesday nights as well by the GT3 Challenge competition that they hold, also exclusively broadcasted on BobbethTV. I think we're off to Le Mans this week, so it should be a good race. One of my more favourite international tracks. Vladimir Shumilov, Clementish Rast, Baron up in front of him. Ben Mead and Stephen Varga, the 2 race leaders, 1 and 2. Cliff Potter, Luke Fallon behind them. Big crash there, right up in that midfield. I was just sort of looking at some other things and missed that. So let's see if we can go back and see what happened. It looks like Cliff Potter might have been a part of it. Vladimir Shumilov. Let's go from here. Actually, let's check out Clementish. So yeah, a little bit of contact there as they all came in. Cliff Potter gets caught in the middle. Clementish getting that car back on the track and up to speed quite quickly there. Not bad. I'll tell you what, lately, if it's not the hiccups at just weird times, it's sneezing fits. Oh my God. Bobbeth is a wreck. Oh, big crash in the background there. I think that was Kane Lewis. So a bit of a quick look at that as some of the cars heading into the pits. Oh, no, Kane already in the pits. Apparently it's not going to show us the crash. So Jacob Smith has been in the pits. Jeff Price. Kane Lewis also, but he has exited the race. So we are back to just 14 drivers available. Let's see there, Vladimir Shumilov looking like he's going to make a move up into that top 5. He does. Clementish back to 6th. Ivan Falcone, he's going to run away in 4th though. He's got a good second lead over those cars behind him. You can also see Rob Chandler and Wayne Rogers in the background. Oof. One observation I have made, and I don't like to take, like I don't pick on drivers, but I do like to make observations about driving styles. And one thing I do notice is Clementish does seem to get that nose a little bit deeper in under that car in front than you would like. It's just, it's his racing style. If he wants to do that, that's how he puts the pressure on. It's up to him. But if they do turn, if the car in front of you turns a little bit earlier than you expect, they are going to turn down across your nose, and that's just going to be bad for all parties involved. Obviously, the car not being turned can get back up to speed quicker, but that's not a gamble. Whoa, you want to take there. Clementi's just carrying a lot more speed than he'd like through that section. We saw a couple of cars behind him. Rob Chandler and Wayne Rogers also cutting the grass. We're on lap 6 of 25, about a third of the way into this race. Like we mentioned in the B main, obviously, who are you here to watch, folks? We've got a few people in the audience via YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Kick. So thank you for tuning in to the 420 Austin Racing League on BobbethTV. But who are you here to see? Have I shown them on the screens both races? Do they deserve a bit of a highlight? Let me know, and I will certainly get them on the screens if they haven't already. The Italian job, Ivan Falcone, holding that 4th position away from Vladimir Shumilov. 2 of our international drivers, 3 of the top 5, 4 of the top 5. Ben Mead is our Kiwi driver. He's from New Zealand, so we have a driver from 5 different countries in the top 5. That's what we like to see. A couple of cars heading into the pits. Wayne Rogers, Wade Georgeson, and Cliff Potter. They'll have some making up to do, so hopefully some of those other cars ahead of them won't pit for a bit longer. The sooner they pit, the less that gap is going to be fortuitous for anyone. Where's Steven? Steven's on the halfway mark of the track, coming down that back climb, back downhill stretch, back climb hill, down climb. Excuse me, Burby Burbs. So he'll be getting ready to come through the sweepers and start our 8th lap. So what I might do is we'll get the leader drive-through that is customary at every broadcast. We'll capture a lap with our leader in the cockpit. It's nice enough to have a camera set up within the car for us to have access to as he hits that back stretch. What better time than now to watch him build that run. He's going into the pits. As is Ben Mead, Luke Fallon, Vladimir Shumilov, Ivan Falcone. Let's get our lap counter up just to see exactly what that gap is. I don't think there's a big gap in between those cars. No, it's just David Jansen and Juha Cirilla still to visit the pits for the first time. There will be one more stop before the end of this race. Alright, still David Jansen. He is in 14th. He hasn't pit yet, but no offence to the 08 Chev, but not in competition at this stage. Is battling for that sort of top 14, top 13 spot. But, whoa, Wayne Rogers just getting a bit tank slappy there. Coming out with a lot more speed acceleration than he would have liked on lap 8. Oh, that's not Wayne Rogers, sorry, that's the 11th place, Juha Cirilla, I believe. No, that is Wayne Rogers. I am mistaken. Rob Chandler right there behind him, Clementic, Raz de Baron. This is 8th, 9th, and 10th. Stephen Vargas still our race leader. We can see on the leaderboard it's 2.5 seconds behind him. Jeff Price in 6th, but if you look in second, sorry, but if you look on the track map on that far eastern peak there as they come down through the windy bits, the 62 really not that far behind the 868 at all. That second stop may be the decision maker there. Wayne Rogers gets up that side. That grass is being chopped quite heavily in that turn. A lot of the drivers coming out a lot faster. Might be a little bit easier to handle. Oh, Wayne Rogers showing us what it's like to drift here at Road America. Gets himself off the track, out of the way of those two cars, and continues on. He'll fall back to 10th. Rob Chandler back up to 8th. Clementage Raz the Baron in 9th. Jacob Smith, he's in the top 5. Ben Mead right there behind him in 5th. There's Luke Fallon just up ahead in 3rd. That leaves Jeff Price in 2nd. And Stephen Varga, still our race leader. He's able to get the B-main in the books. Looking comfortable to go back-to-back here. 4-second lead over second place Jeff Price. I mentioned that lead, and I think that just sort of jinxed him. Ivan Falcone there in top 5 running position. Vladimir Shumilov and Luke Fallon all very tightly packed together. But if you look behind there, you've also got Ben Mead and I believe Jacob Smith, yeah. This pack here, tightly packed. This is the sort of racing we are used to with the V8 Supercars. We saw it a lot in Season 3. We've seen it a bit in Season 4 as well. But we're basically looking at 3rd all the way back to 7th there. That pack is tightly packed. There is another little group behind them that's sort of fallen off that's just coming into view. This type of tight, heavy racing, though, will cause a lot of fuel wear, a lot of fuel usage even, which may sort of request that second stop a bit earlier than they would like. As long as they can get to about lap 15, they shouldn't have a problem. 10 laps of fuel seems pretty confident. See on the track map, the 868 Stephen Varga, a race leader, coming up fast on David Jansen, the 08. He's about almost a full lap down. It will be a lap down, obviously, once Stephen gets that car around him. Just be remain to see whether David concedes, whether Stephen can get by him comfortably, or what, as Stephen is getting ready to start lap 11. Let's go back to my previous idea of doing a quick run through of the track from our leader's point of view. Once again, it will be Mr. Stephen Varga, Quantum Peckies Racing. That is the 08 David Jansen just up ahead of him. Watch him climb up and through those gears. And then it's a bit of a work of art as we hit the corner. This one's going to be a little bit of a small lefty into a big left-hander. You watch him come back through the gears here. He's going to cut on the inside of David Jansen. David Jansen, I think, might have... no, it looked like he spun out as he let off on that speed. Might have let off a little bit too much with the brakes. But no, he's able to sort of continue his race. Stephen Varga gets past him. Continues on this race lead here at Road America. 420 Aussim Racing's GT3 Gen 3, Generation 3 V8 Supercars. These are the newest supercars on the market. It is the Chev and the Mustang. Still General Motors versus Ford, but just not Holden versus Ford, which, you know, you can't cry about too much. Chevs are cool. Chev 1 and 2 at the moment. The other 3 cars in the top 5, all Fords though. So both brands represented well. Here we go, the 868 big braking right-hander into the sweepy bits. Nice little run there. See if he can straighten out the sweeps as best he possibly can. This one's a little bit tricky because it's a bit blind. Does it well, comes into the right-hander. There is a pit entrance, so we know this is the start-finish run at lap 11. It's just about completed, lap 12 underway. We're just past that 25-minute mark. Less than 20 minutes remain in this race. 8 to 9 laps to be expected. Green flag, then we've got the white flag laps, 2021 laps total. Can Stephen Varga hold on? Let's watch and see. Special Sunday night main event here, round 5 of the Gen 3 V8 Supercars. Normally hour-long racing. We've got some special extra racing for you tonight. 2 45-minute main events. Give us an extra 30 minutes of V8 Supercar action. Luke Fallon made his way up into 4th, had started at the rear of field with Stephen Varga all the way back, actually in 13th and 14th, has moved all the way up to 4th. It has been a heck of a run. David Jansen there just ahead of Vladimir Shumilov and Luke Fallon. Looks like that is Ivan Falcone back there behind them. A couple of cars coming off track in the past lap. We had both Juha Cirillo, Wade Georgeson, Ben Mead and David Jansen all come off track on lap 11 there. All right, we are good to go. just noticed because I've been forced to use the video broadcast.
But that's just voice settings. Let's turn that on to see if that's any better. How's that sound, guys? The meter looks horrible when I'm turning it off.
Put noise removal back on. Now it's probably not a good time to just practice, test things. All right, coming up on the final 15 minutes, almost 2/3 of this race is complete. Lap 13 at 25. We currently have 14 drivers still registered in this race. In 14th, David Jansen. Currently 13th. Good. All right. Wade Georgeson in 13th. Jacob Smith 12th. Cliff Potter's currently 11th. Jeff Price in our top 10. Juha Cirilla 9th. 8th is Wayne Rogers. Clementis Razdabar. I'm so sorry, Clementis. I really hope I'm getting even that part right. Razdabaran in 7th. 6th, Rob Chandler. Ben Mead, Ivan Falcone, Luke Fallon, our 5th, 4th, and 3rd drivers in the top 5. Then Vladimir Shumilov currently in 2nd. Stephen Varga, still our race leader. Let's have a squiz at our most recent laps. Pit laps, sorry. And it looks like Jeff Price, Jacob Smith, Wade Georgeson may have already taken their second stop. So interesting timings. We'll see if that plays out. Our top 9, though, still have one more pit stop to make before we get to the end of this battle. Was it kind of like Pirate Software? Did I turn into like this most basic sort of like, yes, today on the race we have to do this and watch blah, blah, blah. Well, I think I've managed to successfully stop all the little like sniffs and snips and like sudden noises that get picked up by the mic. It was very sensitive. Ben Mead there. Rob Chandler right behind him in 5th place. This is the top 5 battling it out. We can see Clementis Razdabaran back there in 6th as they come down the second straightaway. I was just trying to work out where on the track map they are. They're just above the start finish line, mid portion of that track. Remainder of my subway up to stay somewhat eat fresh. Actually, that doesn't even sound like it's coming through on the mic as I talk. Wow, that noise removal is a godsend. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to do something in my 10-minute break that I really need to do now. The Joys for One Man broadcast with. I will be back in just 2 minutes. Stay tuned. Right, I am back. Nothing in the chat, so nothing crazy must have happened on screen. Or Shrubgod would have called it out for me. Still just the 3 cars retired: Anthony Hague, Brad Armstrong, and Kane Lewis. Brad Armstrong and Anthony Hague did not take the track. Kane Lewis retired 11 laps ago. Just about 5 or 6 laps remain. Little over 10 minutes of racing action still to come as we race up on the 2-hour mark of this special event, extended edition of BobbethTV for the 420 Austin Racing League's Gen 3 V8 Supercars Mammoth double main event round here at Road America. Mead, Chandler, and Razdabaran pitted last lap. You're a legend, Shrubs. Thank you so much. Let's just get those details up onto the screen. So, with the exception of David Jansen, and once again, we mentioned that before, no disrespect to him, but not exactly within the battle of this race. Still to pit for his second stop. Everyone else has had that stop. So 10 laps remain. More than enough fuel to get us to that checkered flag. Wish I could promote you to super moderator, Shrubs. You're a good egg. Thank you. Kane Lewis, my Wi-Fi died. Oh no! There's Kane Lewis in the YouTube chat. His Wi-Fi not playing a ball, and they're the sort of technical issues. Drivers have technical issues in the real life. We have our own things that affect our running gear, and Ethernet is a must. Amen, brother. Amen. In saying that, I have had okay success, good success, using power over Ethernet plugs. So if you don't have a long Ethernet cable, use power over Ethernet, and a little power plug that you run an Ethernet cable from into the back of your computer. And it's, sometimes they're Wi-Fi hotspot driven, sometimes they're basically just power driven, but they are very good. I've used one, and iRacing thinks it's Ethernet corded, and I've not had issues with connections and stuff. So yeah, if Wi-Fi is you're using it because you have to, not because you just want to, yeah, definitely check out power over Ethernet plugs. Ben Mead, Rob Chandler, they are battling it out, 6th and 7th there. Rob Chandler is on the left of your screen. The right of your screen is Ben Mead. Ben has the positional battle. Jacob Smith just there behind him in 8th spot, and he is capable of getting it done, Jacob Smith. So look for him to try and capitalise on these two battling. One of the things I do find is if you have a car in front of you and you're trying to battle it, it's hard to pay attention to anything that's going on behind you and give the car in front of you the proper competition and attention it needs. These two do look like, yeah, they're teammates as well, Rob Chandler and Ben Mead. I did notice that. McPherson Racing. McPherson Contractors, sorry. Saw the McPhersons and just made the rest up. That Phantom machine, he is, whoa, getting a little loose carrying that speed through the turns there. These boys really pushing those cars, like they say. If your car's not sliding, you're not going fast enough. Oh, Rob Chandler. He is, he drifts that turn. That's not the first time he's taken that turn like that, but he is a scary dude when it comes to that corner. Oh my God, he just locks it, throws it, and the car just does the rest. Few laps remain. We're on lap 17 at 25. 696. No, that's not the 696 is you. That's really the 868. Sorry, he's just crossing that start finish line. He is going to start out. No, where is he on the track map? Oh no, he's not. There he is. Sorry, I misplaced him. He's already on at lap 17, halfway through. I am just talking gibberish at this point. A lot of grass being cut. You see it thrown up. You see a lot of the leaves and stuff on the side of the road. They get kicked up a bit earlier. Was a bit of traction issues. Could be the explanation for a lot of these cars getting a little bit slippy through the turns. Luke Fallon had a crash. Wade Georgeson lap prior, but let's just go back and just have a look and see what's happened to Luke Fallon here. the monster machine behind him. Yeah, just got loose, locked it up. The Hoonigan was able to get past. Oh, Ivan just onto the anchors in time to avoid that contact. As we get back to the live action. All right, coming up, 5.5 minutes remain in this battle. That's going to be enough time for those next 2.5 a bit or so laps. The 18th lap is currently underway. Stephen Varga, our race leader, coming into turn 1 on the track map. The 62, Jeff Price, putting in a great effort. I'm not familiar with that name, so I do believe this is his first night in the Gen 3s. It's in season 4 at least. So he is definitely putting up a good show. Luke Fallon having to go into the pits. That is going to cost him a few positions and some points as we come into the final 3 rounds of the Gen 3 Supercar Season 4 Championship. There he is in the background in the pit lane. That looks like a black flag, a drive-through with penalties. So if you get... there's a number of different ways that you can incur incident points. So if you go off track and get back on track and it's relatively safe, that's 0, but it will count as an incident, just 0 points. If you go too far off track, you will get 1 point for an off track. If you collide into the wall hard enough or contact a car, it's 2 to 4 points. Now, the way this competition or this race tonight is allocated, you have 17 points to play with. Once you get to those 17 points, then it's penalty, and then penalty every 10 incident points or so on. Now, those penalties are usually a black flag drive-through. So that means you just have to drive through the pits, enter the pits, just drive straight through, exit out, and continue on. Now, one thing to consider is all pits have a speed limit, and it's generally around 65 kilometers an hour. Now, these cars are obviously hitting in excess of 200 kilometers an hour on the track, so 65 kilometers an hour driving through a half a kilometer stretch of road is definitely going to hold you up, to penalise you. Luke Fallon falling all the way back to 9th, it seems. Watch stuff, those leaves and stuff getting kicked up. You see the Kelly Racing Pepsi Max machine getting a little loose through that. If that is a combination of just the gunk on the track and the tyre wear, or just the gunk by itself. It has proven to be a little concerning for some. Lap 19 currently underway. Pretty much 2 laps remain. Little blink there by Ben Mead up the front of that little 3-car pack. Clementis, Razdabaran and Rob Chandler, the other 2 cars in that pack, just up ahead of them. I believe that is David Jansen in 14th. He's a couple of laps down at the moment. Looks like that is Jacob Smith that we saw momentarily when the camera was pointing back down towards the rear of the track. There he is. I think we also caught a quick view of Luke Fallon as well back there. David Jansen trying to stay a little bit wider for the boys. Unfortunately, had to stay a little bit more wider than he wanted. Went off track a little bit. Not going to affect any positional racing, but you never like it when it happens. All right, we just as I looked at the timer, it's 2 hours, 2 minutes and 2 seconds as I looked into this broadcast, and I can see on the track map coming through the last handful of turns is the 868 Stephen Varga Quantum Pecky's racing driver, our race leader, winner of the B main here tonight. Looks like he's going to be the winner of the A main because he's coming down the start-finish line to start the white flag lap. Let's jump up and watch him race this last lap out. We've done a lap with him in car. Let's do a lap outside the car as he starts the 20th lap. White flag, wave it, Barty. The Road America hill climber here. The elevation portion of the track. Start to begin the downhill climb again, back to the medium elevation normal portion of the race. The big left-hander here, the sweeping oval right-hander. Handle this corner pretty quickly. How you take it, if you high in, low through the apex, high out. Stephen just sort of dealing with it as it came. Into this right-hander through the sweeps. He will do a little bit of a climb up through the hilly bit before he gets to that last right-hander. Start-finish line will be in sight and victory. Maximum points. Stephen Varga is going to take out both the B and A mains here at Road America in our supersized round 5 race. 3 more rounds of the Gen 3 V8 Supercars season 4 remain. Checkered flag. Congratulations, Mr. Stephen Varga. Quantum Pecky's Racing getting the job done. Back-to-back victories here tonight. Road America is the house that Quantum Pecky's Racing built. Vladimir Shumilov, Ivan Falcone hitting that finish line for second and third. Here comes Ben Mead and Clementish Razdabaran. Everyone's favourite Fanta braced machine, Jacob Smith. Spallon also right behind him, Wayne Rogers. Looks like Juha Cirilla next. Cliff Potter not that far back. That is the end of our supersized races here at Road America. We'll wait out the results. We'll get those up on our screens. While we're waiting for those, I want to thank everyone that came out, that liked the stream, that watched. Lolly and Lolly for the like as well. JT3000 for the follow over on the Twitch side of things. Obviously, Shrubs, Griff, Devourworm. Oh, I didn't even see Devourworm in the chat. Rainbow Bob is into the commentary room. I didn't even say, oh man, I missed that. Welcome, brother. Kane Lewis, thanks for joining in, even though you did have a bit of the Wi-Fi issue. Appreciate the GGs on the comms. Thank you. Appreciate that. Some reason Wade Georgeson is not finishing our race and not letting it. It's not ticking. Here he comes. Stephen Varga almost able to get another lap in. But you're in the zone. Yeah, probably. Oh, I'm so terrible. But yeah, thank you all for coming out and checking this out. We'll get the results up so we can see how that final battle ended. Not taking the field tonight, Anthony Hager, Brad Armstrong finishing in 17th and 16th. respectively. Kane Lewis finishing early with the Wi-Fi issues 15th. David Jansen in 14th. Wade George finished 13th. Jeff Price 12th. Rob Chandler in 11th. And Clementi Razda Barron in 10th. Please jump into Discord, my friend, and let me know how badly I've butchered your name tonight and how I'm supposed to say it. And I apologize once again. Ram Jam. 9th was Cliff Potter. 8th was Juha Cirilla. Wayne Rogers in 7th. Luke Fallon finished 6th in the end. 5th, Jacob Smith. Ben Mead finished 4th. 3rd, Ivan Falcone. Vladimir Shumilov in 2nd. But Stephen Varga is our winner here tonight. Look, for those that came along via YouTube, Facebook, Kick, I want to thank you all very much for tuning in. For those of you that tune in via Twitch, thank you. Obviously, we do a little bit of extra stuff on that one. So if you do follow the Twitch page, you do get to see some of my other gaming and non-commentary stuff. But Sheltark, he's the other one that I wanted to thank. The reason why I mentioned him is he is a GTA 5M role player, and he is hilarious. He is currently live. So for the Twitch viewers that we do still have, we're going to go raid over to him. I'm going to show you another side of my online community, my online life. This is my other home. When I'm not commentating, I'm usually doing stuff over here. But let's go check out Sheltark. Make sure to give him a follow. He is hilarious. Thanks for tuning in. You know the drill, guys and girls. My name is Bob. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back Thursday morning with the KMKZ Promotions Meet Nationals Hell Tour 2025. There's no Knuckleheads iRacing League this week. And we'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Prioritize the fact that the cops just been killed, guys. But can you keep an eye on who that unit was? Just watch it. Keep an eye on it. Let